So, first of all, hi Matt, good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
How is your earliest memories of rugby? Like, how early on did that start for you? Like, what's your
First memory, so I've talked about it, but I actually started off playing soccer when I growing up. Yeah,
right.
So started off
football for all you guys at home.
Football.
Sorry,
yeah,
in the UK.
I forget where I am. Yeah, and then I played with one of my best mates growing up, and his dad just happened to be president of a rugby team called the Owls. So I think I was about 6, and he said, "Come along, try it out," and the rest is history. Just dropped football after that, and, and then straight into rugby.
Perfect. How is the contact for that? Because I know most kids, like growing up, like that's the biggest thing, is you either love it or you hate it. Personally, I hated the cold. I still turned up every Sunday, but did you like it?
Yeah, no, I started off with tag, and then
of course
did 1 year of tag and got a bit sick of that pretty quick. And then we had quite a good team, like young team, so we ended up going a year above. So under 8s is when you start playing tackle, and so started after that, and then just loved it. Yeah, no, it's good fun. I was a bit of a wimp back in the day. Like if you got to, but I feel like every kid is, once you get tackled too hard, it's like
you go through that stage of
still sort of do it now, but like
for me it's like my ears getting rubbed on people's shorts. I hated like going in for a tackle, so I'd always end up just going in like that.
The worst is someone stepping on your toes.
Yeah,
and it's freezing cold, stepping on your toes or getting kicked in the shin or something like that.
Yeah, something horrible.
Yeah,
those are the horrible days. Probably stick to football. I suppose in football we get the same sort of thing, stampled on the foot.
Yeah, even like they don't even really now, do they?
Yeah, no,
just fall on the ground.
straight diving. So that was in Canberra growing up, right?
Yeah.
How did you progress towards the Brumbies? How was your, did you join an academy? Where did you go from there?
Yeah, so it's actually a pretty good setup in Brums. You're a junior Brumbies the whole way through.
What age does that start?
So I think my first one I would have been, like 11 or 12 maybe?
Oh right,
yeah.
Because in the UK, like academy systems start like 15, 16.
Yeah.
And you're still in playing county rugby there.
Yeah, so this was like I would have started then, and then kind of just went through it. It was more the actual pathway started when you're around like 14, 15.
All right.
So you just play for the Brumbies like as a rep team. We'd go up and play Sydney teams and country teams and stuff like that. But then once you get into an actual academy, it's probably around the same age.
And how was that like going through the academy system? Was it like, were you a smaller player trying to really like show off your skill level, or were you a bit bigger than other lads? What was your point of difference growing up?
No, I was very, very skinny. Skin and bones, yeah.
So speed was the blessing for you?
Yeah, back in the day, not anymore unfortunately, but yeah. No, it was skin and bones, so I would have been one of the faster guys, but definitely like if you could get a hold of me, like I was done for.
Down.
You could throw me anywhere you wanted.
Oh, brilliant. In Australia, multiple different ball sports. You've got AFL, you've got NRL, and you've got union, you've got football as well. Did anything else pick your fancy at that point, or is it just all the way into union?
I played a lot of league as well growing up. So my granddad actually played league for Australia back in the day. He was my dad's dad. But I don't know why my dad never got into it. Never. Well, like we've got some teams we support, we enjoy watching it, but no, it was always union. I played league on Sundays, for a couple of years, but then no, I don't know, just didn't do it for me. Like it was.
Did you pick anything up there that's helped your game in union?
Probably more of the contact. Like the contact is a lot heavier in league. I find
it's like probably a bit controversial to say, it's like a one big run it straight challenge usually.
But it is.
On the first set, yeah.
Well, it's for the first 4 tackles at least.
Yeah,
it's just
battered
try get up the field as much as you can, and then you might throw the ball around a little bit here and there. So definitely growing up, like contact was not my strong point.
Were you always on the wing in that sense then? Were you always out wide?
No, I was always, I was actually a 10 until I was
that's
like
that
20.
Football background.
Yeah.
Oh right, okay,
Yeah.
Blimey.
So I actually went into, when I first got signed by Brums, I got signed as a 10.
Oh,
and then out of school, and then just didn't have a kicking game or anything like that. So kind of need it when you're a 10.
Yeah, it does help a little bit. But that must have helped your game understanding a little bit more.
Yeah, I think it did. I think that's kind of being a winger now, I think it's actually helped me kind of understand on how to get involved into a game.
Yeah.
A lot easier than I know some people can find it, because I guess, as you said, like when you're right in the middle of things and you're telling people where to go and telling people what to do, I was able to kind of feel like, definitely helped me at being able to get off my wing at right times.
Definitely.
Just hanging off people's shoulders, looking for the ball, that sort of way.
Yeah, more of an appreciation of the game. Like I grew up playing 10 as well, and then I moved to fullback, and I felt like I could understand what the opposition 10 was trying to do in the backfield. So if you have that understanding from a young age, you can really understand the game a lot better.
Also gives you, I try not to get too mad at my 10s, because I understand they're literally thinking of everything in the game. Like,
you're not the guy shouting, make sure you find touch then.
Yeah.
Not that guy.
No, I'm the guy screaming now, what's the play? What's the play? Like,
all right.
I feel like you get everybody coming up to you.
That micro
number
chat.
10. Just like, what are we doing? And they got to think on the exact spot what they're doing. It'd be a pain in the ass. And you get it from every player, because you'll call it. But like, I'm on the wing, so I don't know. So I come in and ask what it is. He tells me, and hasn't told the centres, so then you tell the centres, and then tell the fullback, and like,
it's a slow communication.
There's no Chinese whispers, like everybody's got to get it right out of it.
Oh really?
That's how I find it, at least.
Okay, all right. Oh, that's interesting. So it's not like passed on down the line, it is?
I'm sure it is, but
you need to know from the horse's mouth. You've got to have that direct.
Tell me what it is. Like.
Then it's on your neck, not someone else's.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. So your heritage then, your mother's Irish, that's how you ended up playing for Ireland. Yeah. How much of an influence did that have on you growing up, moving over here? Like, at what age did that happen, and how much inspiration did your mum give you to do that?
Yeah, it gave me a lot. Like all my uncles and everything would, mum's brothers, they'd have thick Cork accents, like even still to this day, yeah. So they moved over, they would have lived here for a good while. So it was fun. Yeah, I kind of always had that appreciation, and I guess knew about like the heritage of Ireland, obviously not coming over, but saying that as well, like my nan and granddad, two of the most Irish people we've ever met still. Like all I'd have is just the basic stews and potatoes pretty much, maybe toast with a shitload of butter, and I think if you ask anybody about their grandparents over here, it's like the exact same food there. So
what was the bridge then between Australia and Ireland? How did you find the opportunity, and how did you like come on over?
So I was playing for the Brumbies at the time, and was in the squad. I was starting to finally play a few games, and I thought I was playing alright, but I didn't really feel like I was getting the kind of opportunities that I wanted, I guess. So I had an opportunity to come over here from Andy Friend.
Yeah.
I chatted to him, and then it was dead set. It was like 2 days later. I was like, yeah, I'm going.
Bags are packed, off we go.
Yeah. And that was it. I was just looking for something different at that time as well. Like it wasn't even really me coming over here thinking, oh, I'm going to be playing for Ireland. I obviously knew that it was like a possibility, but for me it was more I just wanted to get over here and experience things and just have fun with it. And it kind of just eventuated into what it is now. So. How
old were you at that point when you moved over?
22, I think.
Oh, prime years to explore the rest of the world then.
Yeah, I just felt like over here, I felt like maybe it was sort of like a last chance to have a real crack at footy before maybe then just being like a journeyman sort of thing, you know what I mean? Right. So I just had fun with it, and then it just worked out for the best. Okay, so that's more off the pitch, like learning about the environment, the culture. What about on the pitch? I want to know more about the differences between playing playing rugby in Australia and then coming up here and playing in Ireland. Like, what's the differences in the way teams set up, how you train, especially from a younger age, around 22? Yeah, I'd say I thought the biggest thing, the biggest change was like kicking game and stuff. I find over this side of the world is a lot bigger part of rugby. I find Super Rugby and the way you watch the way New Zealand play and stuff like that, it's a lot of like throwing the ball around and not so like quicker pace per se, but I think there's a lot more run and rugby and that sort of in Super and stuff like that. And then coming over here, like you really think about your kicking game going into a weekend, like can be a big part of a lot of teams' culture is the way that they kick the footy. Like it's like championship rugby, isn't it? Sometimes how you win games is without the ball. Yeah. Okay. So I found that was probably the biggest change. And that's the thing, like it's learning a different game, learning how to play in the system. You won 3 man of the matches in 8 games in 6 Nations. As a winger, I'm sure plenty of people at home who play on the wing want to know how you go about getting those game involvements. Like it's cliche, but like it's very easy for me with the guys I play around. Like it makes, because they're so good at their job, it makes my job a lot easier. I guess the way I look for it is, as I said, it's you got to kind of, the best way I kind of think of things is if it's getting to my edge on a ruck and I'm not in that ruck, then my job is to get around and get involved that way. Like that's how I kind of find a way of getting off and getting involved. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Looking for
so that's like one way that I can find of almost use markers on the field of ways to get involved.
Yeah.
If I think that there's nothing on here, but I can see that I might be needed to fold in, be sort of looking that sort of way. That's how I kind of think of it. Like just thinking, well, if I'm not needed here and nothing's going on here, I may as well just may as well go.
Winger is just a title. It's just the name in which you start the play. Usually you start out wide, but it doesn't mean you have to stay out there.
Yeah.
You know, it might create space for other people if you do, but sometimes you need to come in and use your pace elsewhere, get touches on the ball.
Yeah, but it might be as simple as well. Also, as you know, is you might actually need to be that marker sometimes, and it's just realizing okay, the ball's over on that side of the field. There's no point me being in the middle. I'll wait here. It might be a kick opportunity or something like that, or it's working towards me, sort of. So I think it's sort of wrapping your head around that, and knowing, as I said, knowing when you should be going and when you should be staying is a big thing. And then, like it was, as I said, it was a lot easier for me with knowing that any of the fellas that are getting the hand of the ball can make a break. So I just wanted to be involved and stay around them, and just.
I mean, especially in the Ireland team, it's star-studded. Like it's very system-based. I mean, Andy Farrell's done a great job there. The success speaks for itself. How much have you learned from him? I remember hearing, like interview done before, that he was shouting at you a lot in training, in defence.
Yeah, he was. He was riding me a bit in the first couple of weeks, but that was purely, I think. Well, no, I know it was just, he was wanting me to get better. So it's past the times of, I think, holding people's hand the whole way and patting them on the back. Like I kept getting the same thing wrong time after time. So I just got to the point where he just let me have it, and it was the same with all the coaches. Like, and I think it's completely fair enough. I just if you keep making the same mistakes, like it's.
Yeah, some people need the arm around the shoulder. Some people
just need a bit of a rocket up their ass. Yeah, so that was what I needed apparently. So no, I learned heaps from him. He's just he just gets it. It's hard to explain. Like obviously he's played in his whole career, and then so he just gets and understands how rugby players, I think, are feeling. If we've had too big of a session, like he's not afraid to leave stuff off. I feel like some coaches can be like, we need to tick this and this off. Or he'll be like, you know what, I think we've had a big enough week. Let's just call it there.
Puts the person ahead of the player sometimes.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing about him is, I think he genuinely does understand how we're feeling, and uses that to his advantage.
Yeah, I mean, it speaks for itself, really, especially with his appointment as the Lions head coach. I mean, do you like him enough to get him tattooed on you? Yeah. And that's a pretty big statement. That's pretty big time.
No, hopefully we don't come to blows sometime. I'm gonna have to get him lasered off. I think I might just tattoo some glasses and like some, put an afro on him or something like that. Make it look someone else.
Well, that is the Lions tour is coming up. Andy Farrell's going to be the coach there. You're coming back from injury. What are your targets ahead of this season coming up?
At the moment, it's just to get back playing footy. Like it's been so long since I've actually played a game, so I'm just going to take it the same way I kind of took coming over. I think if I can just enjoy myself, play rugby again, and the rest will kind of take care of itself. So try not to think too far ahead. Just get back playing.
It's all about the process, isn't it? Like, you seem like a very laid-back guy. How do you convert that to performances on the pitch? Like I've seen before that you're a bit believer in luck. Like I mentioned about your tash comes off if you're not feeling too lucky. Like, how do you prepare well for games?
I've got a bit of a routine that I do throughout the day that I try to keep.
Much of a ritual going on, or is it actually just performance-based preparation?
A little bit of a ritual. Can't really say what it is. I'll tell you off camera.
A bit private information.
I got so I got a couple things that I do, and then I just try to keep it as like close to it as possible. Like when I was growing up, I used to be really superstitious. Like
Yeah.
I used to have to wear my socks to the games. I could only eat certain things on the day. Like I'd only eat half an apple before I ran out. Like just all these, I had to be first in, first out, first in.
Yeah.
All this weird stuff, and then actually found that it just started to hinder the way I was playing, because if I missed one thing, that's all I could think about. I'd start getting these little twitches. So as I said, I got things that I try to set off and like stand by now, but also use a bit of leniency with if I do miss something, it's grand. Like I've done the work before it. It's just don't worry about it too much.
Australia. We've come over from Australia to Ireland. How about going back with the Lions tour? How much would that mean to you? You mentioned it earlier on about how it's an inspiration to come over here. How much would that mean to get on the plane, go back to Australia? I know it's a long way off and you're focusing on your rehab, but talk to me about those feelings you have towards it.
Oh, look, it'd be a dream come true. So that's my biggest dream.
Yeah.
For them, as I said, since they came over, I don't know what it was like that. Even that, you can ask my dad. Like that thing, me and my brother were going for the Lions. I don't know why. We just loved them. We fell in love with the whole concept of it. We went to.
This is 2013.
Yeah. Went to watch when they played the Brumbies. They actually lost the Brumbies that game.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. Is that when Jesse Mogg was playing for them?
Yeah.
He scored that wonder try. I remember that one. I was probably like 12 at the time, seeing Jesse Mogg run the length of the pitch. Unreal.
So that was a hell of a experience, and I don't know, it made me, as I said, really just like gave me a new perspective on being able to not only just play in Australia but do other things. So to be able to do that would be not only big, almost like a full circle moment, but no, it'd be incredible. But I just got to be playing good footy for that to happen. So
yeah, and then it's all about the process, isn't it? Part of that process, elephant in the room, are these guys, counter-reach, speed, elite.
Yeah.
Tell me what you look for in a boot and why this is the boot for you.
So, I was saying, funny enough, I used to wear Canterbury's growing up when they weighed about 10 kilos each boot, and they were thick and clunky. But now, like, and it's easy for me to say being an ambassador for them. Like, I know you think like I got to say it, but I genuinely love the boot. Like, they're so light. They fit my foot perfectly. Like I know the forwards ones are a little bit wider as well, because obviously they're bigger fellas, but they're snug, like they fit great, and they don't bend, they don't break. Yeah. Like they stay together really well, and as I said, they're just comfortable. Like they really are. I find it. I actually used to struggle a lot with feet as well. Like when I was wearing boots, my feet would always ache after games. I don't have that with these at all.
I mean, I've tried them myself. You've seen them on the channel. Go check out the review if you haven't already. But as a speed boot for a winger, I think it's everything you could want, especially with the flight beam sole play. Like you say, the stiffness in the sole play. In terms of accelerating, decelerating, and changing direction, it offers you everything you need, I think, especially as a winger. Yeah.
No, it's come a long way from where they used to be, for sure. And I know, as I said, like, you might think I'm bullshitting here, but look, buy yourself a pair, you wouldn't be disappointed at all.
I couldn't disagree. Well, thank you so much for having the chat. I really appreciate your time.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, guys, make sure you leave a comment down below of the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel whilst you're there, and drop a like as well. I'll see you guys in the next one.